just insane to me. Like, you're not. He was put in the 4th slot on the depth chart. There's a reason that they put him in the 4th slot. Do you think I come back to this all the time? Do you think coaches want to win, or do you think coaches want to make statements? Coaches want to win.
Coaches want to win. Yep.
That's how you keep your job. They want to win. So what are they doing? They're putting him in. Why? Because they're not going to play Joe Flacco because he's their starter. Kenny Pickett is hurt. Dylan Gabriel is hurt. So they both have hamstring issues. Who's left? In fact, they just signed somebody to discuss.
Mr. Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley. Thank you. So, like, all these people are like, oh, he's going to show out tonight. It means nothing. Probably he's not, because he's playing with like 4th and 5th string starter players. But even if he did, it means nothing. It'll mean something to you because you're like a sycophant for the Sanders boys. But it means nothing as far as like depth chart and standing. But these guys are watching. Listen, we used to film some of our practices when you were a player for me. Some of them, especially, or not even the whole practice, but certain segments of the practice.
Later in the year. Yeah.
They record and watch everything that they do. Everything. They watch how you walk back and forth to the huddle. They watch how you call plays. They watch to see if you look like you even know what you're doing. Like, they watch everything. And you think that some moron doing a podcast like us in Cleveland knows what the fuck is going on at Cleveland Browns training camp because he saw one complete pass during 7-on-7 to a 4-string wide receiver? You don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about because we have a podcast. I know what I'm talking about because I played the position. I played at a college level, and I coached.
You coached
the sport. So that's where my bona fides comes from. I've played the position. I played offense, coached offense. Coach as a head coach. These guys don't know nothing. You're just listening to someone who just, like Nick Wright. Why would Nick Wright be your source of information on anything? Nick Wright is just a fan. Colin Cowherd has connections, but Colin Cowherd is wrong all the time. All the time. We've told you from the jump what the problems are, but you're going to watch. I don't know if it's tomorrow on Thursday or over the weekend or whenever, but you'll watch and you'll say, he looks fantastic, just because you want a Sanders to be the quarterback. I just said good luck with that. If that were truly the case, like we've already announced, they wouldn't be looking forward to drafting a quarterback next year, which is already the story that's out there. If they were so enchanted with Shedeur Sanders, they wouldn't have waited till the 5th round. It wouldn't have taken the owner of the team to make the choice, and they wouldn't have picked Dylan Gabriel. So enjoy it while it lasts. How about that? I'll say enjoy it while it lasts.
Yep. Peter, we are at the end of our AFC preview, and that is my conference, my division, the AFC West.
You know what the best part of that is?
We're getting closer to football.
Much closer to the
Let's start with the AFC champions, Super Bowl runner-up, Kansas City Chiefs. They drafted lineman out of Ohio State, Josh Simmons.
What is he, a guard?
It's a tackle, I think.
Tackle.
Rumors say, like, when he's healthy, he's a monster, and I could see why. He fell a little injury last year, fell to the 31st pick. And, of course, the Chiefs might get a fucking bona fide 10-year offensive tackle.
Might get a steal.
They added a fan favorite of ours, quarterback Gardner Minshew.
Yes, I did hear about that.
Running back Elijah Mitchell, who backed up McCaffrey last year and played most of the year last year for the 49ers. That's a good backup to have.
Yeah, played pretty well, yeah.
Especially with a banged-up Pacheco.
Sure.
They lost wide receivers McCole Hardman and DeAndre Hopkins. Guard Joe Tooney, which I think is a tremendous loss.
That's a big one, yeah. Although he played tackle at the end of the season, probably the last 2 weeks, and then playoffs. Yeah.
Edge Josh Uche, who they got from the Patriots mid-year, and safety Justin Reed, who's a very good player, goes to the New Orleans Saints. Notable games, obviously a ton, playing a hard schedule, and with the division they have, week one, they play the Chargers somewhere overseas. Week 2, they play the Eagles at home. Week 4,
what a terrible way to open the season.
Not great.
In Europe or something?
I don't love that.
Or whatever?
I don't love that.
I would hate that. You've been in camp for a month and a half, and now I gotta go take an extra travel to go somewhere else.
And then I got a week 2 game. I know you're playing a little earlier, but still. Week 4, Ravens at home. Week 6, Lions at home. Week 8, Redskins at home. Week 9 at Bills. Week 10 at Broncos. And Week 14 hosting the Texans.
Wow, that's not even all of it.
And that's just right. That's just
that's something else, boy.
That is something else.
That is something else.
How many more years you think Andy Reid's got left in the tank?
Andy Reid is what, 71?
Sounds about right.
He's not a heart attack kind of coach like Bill Parcells used to be, or like your guy in Denver, Sean Payton is. He's a
Jim
very
Harbaugh.
he tends to be a little more stoic. You know, everybody gets a little heated from time to time, but for the most part, he's pretty stoic. He's not animated. Now, who knows what's going on the inside? But my point is, I think he'll try to ride this out as long as he possibly can. He's got a kind of Belichick Brady thing going on right now. Look, a lot has to go right. I mean, lucky right for that to even come close to that kind of thing. But regardless, it's a special, unique time. You don't just walk away from, Dan Marino. You don't just walk away from Tom Brady, and you don't just walk away from. Although he did, you don't walk away from Joe Montana. Bill Walsh did walk away, but after doing some pretty goddamn good things, you have a chance. From everything I understand, he's relatively healthy. I don't think he walks away. I mean, we're talking at least three more years, at least. So he's made no indication that he's interested in retiring. So, and he certainly look. At the very least, what I think we can say with relative certainty is that this will be his last job. Yeah, and I don't think he's done coaching, and why wouldn't you want to coach the best quarterback in the entire NFL? And on top of that, work for a pretty darn good organization.
Sure. Yep.
So between those two things, I think it'll still be for the foreseeable future.
Kelsey, your final year?
I don't know, but you've definitely seen a decline over the last 2 years. Even if the reception totals were kind of there, they came in bunches. They came earlier in the season. Wasn't nearly the same player later in the season. Certainly not in the Super Bowl. There's a decline there. And look, you can look at all different sports, whether it's the Yankees from the from the 90s, or the Bulls, or Golden State or something like that. Like whoever you want to look at, even I'm thinking the greatest show on turf with the Rams. You start to lose little bits, and it seems like not a lot. It starts to add up over time. So Kelsey, you lose linemen because you can't, everybody goes to the Super Bowl every year.
Kelsey,
so everybody's a great player. You want, if you're on another team, you want a player off a Super Bowl team. Why? Because they're probably better than the guys you have. They went to the Super Bowl. So you're losing players. The coaches losing coaches is not that big a deal. Because Andy Reid is the mind behind the offense. So that doesn't matter. But these things start to they don't fall off precipitously. They happen slowly over time. And I think that has started already, but their defense has been so good over the last. If you look at the numbers with Mahomes, he's fantastic in the fourth quarter, but his numbers are drastically reduced. You remember when he would throw 40, 50 touchdowns? It just doesn't happen anymore. There's no 4,000 yards, mega seasons and stuff. So we've seen it start. I'm not going to bank on it slowing down simply because they got a tackle from Ohio State. So I think it might continue. I think the slow, precipitous decline over time continues.
The Las Vegas Raiders. New coach, Peter Carroll. New offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly.
Like that one a lot, by the way.
They drafted star running back from Boise State, Ashton Genty, 6th overall.
That one a lot, too.
They added quarterback Geno Smith. I don't know if that's going to continue.
I like that a lot, too. I do.
We might have a new team for Peter this year.
Let's not get carried away.
Guard Alex Kappa. Safety Jeremy Chin, all new additions. They lost Mr. Minshew to a division rival. Christian Wilkins and his obsessed feet weird thing going on there. I don't know there's a story that one day will come out, and I'm looking forward to it. Linebacker Robert Spillane and cornerback Nate Hobbs all have said goodbye. Schedule backloaded as hell here. Week 2 at the Commanders. Week 3 at the Commanders. Week 7 at the Chiefs. Week 10 at the Broncos. Week 11 Cowboys at Vegas. Week 13 at the Chargers. Week 15 at the Eagles. And Week 16 at the Houston Texans.
Yeah. So obviously it's like a wicked division. Oh, first of all, for the Raiders, tough one for them to play in. And then you named a number of teams. It's not going to be easy, like there's 6 games automatically that are very, very difficult playoff teams. So, but I just like what I've seen. You know what? This is going to sound so odd for the Raiders.
Quiet.
But it's quiet, number one. And I'll just say, like, they've come back to what I would call normal. Like you got a normal head coach, not some wild ass hair, like no John Gruden, no Aaron,
no special teams coach. That's like, yeah.
Like you got a normal, successful, healthy, and athletic quarterback, grown up. He's not a wild ass hair. He's not a maniac. He's a grown up. You're investing in your offensive line and running game, which I like a lot. That's what Seattle did so well. It stabilizes your quarterback position. It makes it easier for play action pass. They already had some talent on defense. You got Max Crosby there. So I like what they're doing. They're normalizing this organization. They're normalizing this team. It's first year with Pete Carroll. I think it's going to be a little rough, but I actually think they're going to be a very difficult team to play.
I agree.
I think they're going to be, because what Pete Carroll will bring more than anything is they'll start to you'll see them making significantly fewer mistakes, and they'll just be in ball games. Let's be honest. There was a number of ball games last year that they were just in, and probably we didn't think they were that good. So, I think they'll be in a lot of ball games. I think they'll be a little more physical. I think they'll be a little more normal, and they're going to be a tough out. But it's still going to be a relatively tough season for them. But I like what they're doing, and I think moving forward, they're going to be better.
Besides Max Crosby, not many names on that defense.
Not many names, yeah. But if you just look back to last year, there was a lot of games. See, I always say this, like when you're bad offensively, even a decent defense starts to look bad because you're just on the field for too many plays. And I think that happens a lot.
And you get put in bad situations.
Constantly.
Ball in your own area. Yeah, it's not great.
So this is a team that had the Kansas City Chiefs beat. They played a lot of tight games. I think there's a lot of potential there. I think there's more talent there than people realize because we think Raiders bad, record bad, they're bad. And I don't know that that's totally true. I don't think they're great. I don't think they're a playoff team. I just think they could be a real pain in people's asses this year.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that too. But granted, like you said too, the longer it goes, losing 20 to 19 games, that wears you out too.
No doubt about it. No. And that's why you have a whole new regime in here, because you need a fresh start.
Yeah.
Brady
now taking over a little bit in the front office. Another grown up in the room wants to win.
The other thing is they're behind those other teams. Harbaugh is in year 2. Peyton is in year 2. Obviously, the Chiefs have been there for a while. So, you got teams that have already started building the organization and one that is more than well established. And now you're trying to do the same thing. It takes some time. It takes more time.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
In the NFL, it takes more time than it does in college football. So,
oh, sure. Sure. To the Los Angeles Chargers, drafted running back Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina. Wide receiver Trey Harris out of Ole Miss, who they've produced a ton of wide receivers lately.
I think people are going to fall in love with that running back. Number one, Harbaugh wants to run the ball, and he's a bouncy kind of guy. Like, he bounces off first contact a lot. So I think people are really going to like him if he could stay healthy.
By the way, I'm sorry I didn't say this before. Last year, Chiefs 1, Chargers 2, Broncos 3, Raiders 4. The top 3 teams, division and playoff teams.
Gotcha.
They added running back Najee Harris from the Steelers, who's a dependable guy, does not miss a lot of time, although almost blew his face off with fireworks on the end of July.
Yeah, he's not a big explosive guy, but he can block out of the backfield, which is nice, and he can catch a ball out of the backfield, which is nice, and he's a grinder. So,
guard your buddy Mekhi Becton.
I'm not sure what to make of that one, by the way.
Your buddy Tyler Conklin.
I like him.
I like him too.
I've always liked him. I don't think the Jets ever used him properly. Aaron Rodgers was never a tight end guy. So,
yeah, and Harbaugh does know how to use tight ends. That is a fucking fact.
We know that very well from Michigan.
Lost running backs, Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, and defensive end Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
Schedule notable at Week 5, host the Commanders. Week 8, host the Vikings. Week 10, host the Steelers. Week 14, host the Eagles. Week 15 at the Chiefs. Week 16 at the Cowboys. Week 17, host the Texans. And Week 18 at the Denver Broncos.
Tough. Like, it's no different for them than it is for anybody else in this division. It's a very, very difficult division. And then outside there, it's tough. Year 2 with Harbaugh. The reality is he just knows how to build programs wherever he's been, NFL, college, big-time college, small-time college, middle-time college, if that's even a word. So I expect them to be improved again this year. They were improved last year, still didn't get a playoff victory. I expect them to be improved again this year. I always like how Harbaugh builds from the inside out, so they've even continued to solidify their offensive line. If you're looking for issues, they're a little thin at wide receiver. It seems like they're really going to be relying heavily on, Ladd McConkey.
Quentin Johnson has flashes, but he's got the drops.
Yeah,
they re-signed Keenan Allen this morning. I don't know what the hell he's going to do.
Veteran presence.
That's about
Red
it, I
zone.
think. Maybe an early impact, maybe fourth quarter impact.
Yeah, didn't do jack with the Bears, although that could be on Caleb Williams. I don't know, but
to me, buddy, this all comes down to Justin Herbert. The pressure cooker is on, brother.
Absolutely. When we talked a few weeks ago about like quarterbacks who are on the hot seat, this is one. He's not on a hot seat for his job. He's got $200 million coming guaranteed over the next 4 years or something like that. So he's not going anywhere.
No.
But pressure comes in different forms, right? Like, you don't want your fans to start booing you. You don't want local sports talk to start hammering you as like you're the new, I don't know, Lamar Jackson or something like that. Like, you can't win a big playoff game or anything. That's a problem. That's a problem. You don't have to win Super Bowls. You don't have to do that. But you do have to win some playoff games, especially when you're considered one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league, top 6 quarterbacks in the league. And I believe that. Like, I honestly think there are very few teams in this league that wouldn't trade their guy for Justin Herbert. I don't care who they are.
This has got to be year 6, right? Year 5, year 6 for Herbert?
It's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
5 or 6 for sure. Like, if you were even like, I'm not even kidding, they wouldn't do it, and they would never acknowledge that they would do it. But if you were in Philly, would you take Justin Herbert over?
Up until last year, I would have said yes. Now I don't think so.
Now you wouldn't, just because the fit. You're just like the fit. We know how it works here. Yeah.
Yep.
Dak, you taking Justin Herbert?
Dak, Vikings right now for sure. Bears for sure.
Hey, we did Jordan Love. Who would you rather have? Justin Herbert doesn't leave the field. He doesn't get hurt. How
about this one? Passer. You think the Niners would trade Brock Purdy for him right now?
Oh, in a heartbeat, and give him an extra $10 million. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, I would, and I like Brock Purdy. I'm a Brock Purdy believer.
So let's look at it this way: the teams probably that wouldn't do it: Bills, Bengals,
maybe
Ravens, Eagles.
Yeah, I think the Eagles would really talk about that. Like, they would debate it. Oh, wow. Oh, man.
Goff has got them the NFC Championship game.
If you're asking me, I'll take Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I know. I know. You got the lotion now.
That's a bit much, because I also agree with you. Like, this can't go on forever.
Correct.
Like, you have to start winning playoff games this year, even if it's just one.
And let's start with playing 17 games too, Justin. Let's do that.
Yeah, part of that in the past has been on the team, just making him throw 55 times a game. Not last year.
You said it last year too. He wants to run more. Let's not do that.
Yeah, run the ball more, but not run him more. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that I'm with. So
Mayday.
Look, remember we were talking last week about the GOAT discussion? And I said, one factor that has to go in that you can't measure is just the eye test. Look, you see what you see. Accuracy, cannon for an arm, 6'4", 6'5", 230 pounds, 235. Like, runs really well, smart leader, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, although there have definitely been fourth quarter mistakes. Now you could say maybe that's from forcing the ball because you got to make something happen. I don't know. I'm not going to get into all that. But I'm just saying, like, you see what you see. He's rare Like, it just is what it is. Like, so, and it's not rare, like Anthony Richardson, like, oh my God, he's so big, strong, and fast, but he can't play. We've seen Justin Herbert be disgustingly good. So that's what I mean by, like, you see what you see, dude. So that's what, yeah, if I'm Detroit, I probably would. He's younger, bigger, stronger, more athletic. Yeah, probably. That's a tougher one, though. Goff is, he's a pro, man. And maybe that's one of the most complimentary things you could say about some guy who's maybe not elite. It's just that he's a real pro. And Goff is a real pro. So,
well, it's time.
Speaking of breaking out the cream.
To the Denver Broncos we go. They drafted cornerback out of Texas, Jahdae Brown, to match up with Defensive Player of the Year, Patrick Surtain. They drafted R.J. Harvey, running back from Central Florida, in the second round. They added wide receiver Pat Bryant from Illinois in the third round. They added in free agency tight end Evan Ingram, linebacker Dre Greenlaw, and safety Talahona Hufanga. They added also running back J.K. Dobbins, been a big free agency free agent year for the Denver Broncos. They lost running back Javonte Williams. Good riddance to him. Now he's a Cowboy. Let's see what he does there. He'll probably be fucking all pro with the fucking Cowboys. The schedule, week 3 at the Chargers. Week 4, Monday Night Football, hosting the Bengals. Week 5 at the Eagles. Week 9 at the Texans. Week 13 at the Commanders. Week 15 hosting the Packers. And Week 17 at the Chiefs. And we just talked about Week 18 hosting the Chargers. We'll see what happens going forward down the line. That's a tough schedule. Year 2 for Bo Nix. And I listen, I know I'm a homer a little bit, but I like this team. I think the free agency hit every need they had.
Yeah.
Don't love the running back room just yet, but under Sean Payton, you got to trust them. Really good offensive line. Added 2 studs on defense that go on with a top 5 defense from last year. Again, some health issues there, but maybe change of scenery and stuff always gets these guys going a little bit, and maybe a little luck there. Again, tough division. I don't know if they could win it just yet.
Right.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Fair. I think if your biggest concern is your running back room, I think most GMs in the league would say you're in a really great place. Like, you got your head coach in place, your defense is solid, your quarterback is solid. At the very least, he's solid. We like what we saw. Never know second year, teams catch up. But the other thing I would definitely say is, you know, it's hard to kind of mentally bring yourself back to 2 years ago when Russell Wilson was there and that season was so bad. But I think we could look back now and say this team was significantly more talented than most people thought it was.
3 years ago it was bad. 2 years ago they were fighting for a spot, and then they benched him because they didn't want to pay him the money. Remember that?
Oh my God, yeah.
But I'm saying, 3 years ago was awful. With your buddy Hackett.
It wasn't that great a team. It wasn't that talented a team, and it was pretty talented. It wasn't barren. It wasn't barren of talent. This is not like walking into like Carolina or something like that. And I mean that like a year or two ago. So
yep.
They're talented. Can they win a division? I think it's actually possible. Things have to go their way. Bo Nix can't have the sophomore slump. The second year league catches up to you. And you might need some help from the Chiefs. Maybe knocking themselves off a little bit. Maybe not caring so much about the regular season, which I could actually start to see.
Yeah.
But they're talented enough and they're coached well enough to win the division for sure.
Oh, God, I hope you're right. It'll be a fun.
I'm not saying it will. I don't see it as a prediction. Last year, say it's possible.
Last year, for the first time in 9 years, it was fun for me from about mid-October on.
Right.
Because the first 6 weeks, 7 weeks, you don't know. Like you can go. You could go off the roller coaster and fall off a cliff, or go down and ride it around, and that's what I did. It was fun.
Right. But I like where they're at. I like their head coach. I like their quarterback.
I love the depth they have. I like a lot of their depth. I think Evan Ingram's going to help Bo even more.
Yeah,
because he could do a bunch of shit, and Sean Payton loves getting in that laboratory and creating some shit.
Right. No, I agree. Totally agree.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
In fourth place for me. Oh, sorry.
I just want to say the one thing I'll say about sophomore slump or second year guys, the league catches up. I feel like it's less likely simply because of the head coach. Like he's aware of that kind of stuff and he'll mix it up. He'll force Bo Nix to do some new things, to stretch his abilities a little more, to do some things this year that
playbook gets bigger. Yeah,
absolutely. So a lot of that certainly falls on the head coach. We saw it with CJ Stroud, and then they fired their
dude, you took the words right out of my mouth, man. Yeah, so exactly.
Is it really his fault? I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was definitely the offensive coordinator's fault. He was so good the year before and he sucked it so bad the next year. I think it was probably a combination, but you're not getting rid of CJ. You're going to get rid of the coach. So
and the fact that we knocked on his door after either.
Right.
It's a weird indicator.
Yeah. And we'll find that out with Washington this year. Does Cliff Kingsbury make enough adjustments with Jalen Daniels? We'll see. But I trust Sean Payton to do those types of things.
Yeah,
and on top of it, you have a very experienced, very smart quarterback. So there's a possibility that they kind of avoid that scenario.
In fourth place for me, I have the Raiders.
I do too.
I think everything you kind of said, it's going to look better. It's going to feel better. It's going to last longer better. That's what she said. Like I think they could play into Thanksgiving with
so what kind of record are you thinking?
I'm thinking minimum 6-11, 7-10, something like that. I think
I kind of got 7-10, 8-9. Yeah, I got 7-10, 8-9.
I don't know what they're doing in the division. Maybe they knock off Denver once. Maybe they knock off the Chargers once. They always give the Chiefs a fucking tough game, which is bizarre.
Right.
They cannot block Max Crosby. It's actually great to see fucking Mahomes on it for his life, and that maniac is just yelling at him the whole time. It's great. But I think they're one step closer. Again, you run into a thing. Pete Carroll's not going to be there 10 years, but he's going to be there. He's going to be there for 5, 6, 7, hopefully, and hopefully they get the thing like the Raider fans want it. Back in the day, tough football, stuff like that. For third place for me, as Peter just dropped his headphones here, let's wait for him to get it back on. Oh, he's back.
Sorry, Chinese food delivery.
At fucking 4:30. What are you guys, 65 years old?
Well, when this will be done, it's time to eat.
For third place for me, hold on to your britches. I have the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hold on to your britches. I do too.
Oh,
I do too.
I think I'm not going to say the beginning of the end by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
I just think the two teams ahead of them are maybe right now better poised to take that step up than the Chiefs are going backwards. I still think you get three teams out of this division to the playoffs. I
think you will actually, and I have the Chiefs also. I have them like something like 10-7. I just like ballpark it. I'm not looking at their schedule or anything like that. I do think the three top teams are within 3 games of each other. I guess that's really like 2 games of each other.
Sure.
So it's close at the top. I think this is a combination of things. I think the other 2 teams have been improved and are younger. And maybe there's a little bit of a hunger factor in there as well with those other 2 teams. You cannot discount that. I'm certainly not going to come out here and say like Patrick Mahomes is going to have a losing season or any kind of dumb shit like that. I don't believe that. But I think 10-7 is very possible. If you really take a look last year at how many games,
close games,
close games or games that they legitimately should have lost, like the game was lost and some kind of crazy nonsense, whether it be 1 foot in, 1 foot out, questionably against the Broncos, the pass interference against the Bengals, the 4th down punt or 4th down shit, the Raiders, the block kicks.
Yeah.
It just was a lot, and you can't rely on that for long. On top of the fact that I don't see any reason that their offense is going to be significantly improved this year over last year. I just don't. Like their wide receiver crew is still mediocre. I think Kelsey is definitely on a decline. I think Mahomes is still Mahomes, but you got to have something to work with. And the bigger concern to me is the offensive line. I don't know that you solve that with one left tackle.
Agreed.
or I don't know if he's left or right tackle, and with a history of injury. So I actually think they are third. Yeah, I got him third.
Oh, that makes me feel a little better. I thought you were going to say I need to go to a clinic, but number 2 for me is my Denver Broncos. I think they're right there. It looks like you have them there as well.
I do.
That is funny. That's the first time in divisions that we've, or at least this year, we've had a match. Yeah, I think Denver is right there, dude. I think it's going to be, like you said, 3 games, like 10-7, 11-5, whatever, 12-5, 11-6, whatever.
I got them at 11-6. Yeah. And what is that? 2 games improved over last year?
They 10-7 last year. They were.
Yeah, I mean 1 game improved. Is that insane?
No.
For third-year coach, second-year quarterback,
25 years old,
team,
played 90 games.
Went to
college,
the playoffs last year. Yeah, no, I don't think that's crazy to say they're 1 game better than they were last year. You know, I don't think that's nuts at all. I think that's
defense is better, fair. Offense is better weapons now.
Absolutely.
Marvin Mims coming to his own at wide receiver too.
Mm-hmm.
Devon Vele they got last year. They love him. They drafted Pat Bryant, so the wide receiver room's improving. Peyton loves him. That's why they didn't go out and spend money on anybody else.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram, I said it before, huge addition. Drafted a running back. They added J.K. Dobbins, a veteran in the room. I think, again, Payne knows what he's doing. You got to trust the guy at this
Absolutely.
point. So,
for what you've seen over the last 2 years, you have to trust Sean Payton. Have to.
Yep. And 1 for me, obviously, the Chargers.
Me too.
Year 2 with Harbaugh is like insane. Everywhere he's been.
Yeah.
The jump is enormous. We've been saying this for months. I think this is finally the year Justin Herbert stays healthy, plays well. The weapons last year, McConkey as a rookie caught 100-something balls. They added Tyler Conklin, which is going to be huge for them at tight end. I think Quentin Johnson takes a step up. Their defense with defensive coordinator, my guy from Michigan, Jesse Minter, puts a great product on the field there. Dude, it's just a horrible. It's like history repeats itself.
Yeah, because the recipe hasn't changed.
It's an accent. When it's 5-6, it's like, okay, it's a trend.
Right. Like the recipe hasn't changed. Get younger, get more physical, fix the offensive and defensive line first and foremost. And that's what they've done. You know, they move on from Joey Bosa, which I'm sure wasn't easy, but
and
it's
they kept Khalil Mack. So they got,
they
had
a little younger, save a few bucks to put elsewhere. An aging, injured defensive end. I think they're going to run the ball significantly more this year than they even did last year. And last year, they ran the ball more than they did the year before. I think it'll be even more this year. And I just think Justin Herbert could become extremely dangerous on play action pass. So I'm at 12-5. So, I had Chargers 12-5, Broncos 11-6, Chiefs 10-7. So they're all within 2 games of each other here, right? And then the Raiders somewhere around like 8-9, 7-10, something like that. I really do think so. So it's a hell of a division when your worst team is the worst team in a division is 7-10 or 8-9. Like, hello, that's a hell of a division. Yeah. And this is also that I don't think this is outrageous to have this high a winning percentage in division. When we looked at the other divisions in the AFC, what were we saying? Oh, you got to play the Chargers. You got to play the Chiefs. You got to play the Broncos. That's a hell of a schedule. Well, that's because they're good. And they're going to beat a lot of those teams. The teams in this division are going to beat a lot of those teams in the other division. So, and always remember, it's very difficult for like East Coast teams and to come out West. So it's just, I think there's an advantage there. And I think this is a tough division, a good division. I just think Harbaugh has put his stamp on this team. The recipe hasn't changed. Offensive line is elite now, and they're going to run the shit out of the ball, and it's just going to be tough to stop. The other thing that is real is that you need to be able to run the ball and stop the run in the playoffs. Like as the season gets late and it gets cold and it gets windy, you got to be able to run the football. He knows that. That's like, NFL 101. Like you got to be able to play later in the season. This is a problem with Miami. This is a problem with a lot of Southern teams is they like to chuck and duck. And then as soon as it gets cold, you're like, what? Can't play like this. So it's a problem. So, yeah, I think they take that step. Again, it's all bunched there at the top, but I think the Chargers end up squeaking out. Now, that might – who knows? This shit all may go down on Week 18. I don't it wouldn't surprise me if they're all fucking –
Week 18, Chargers at Broncos.
Chargers, Broncos, and who knows – who do the Chiefs play Week 18? Who knows? Like, it's probably
Eagles
the Raiders.
Like the Raiders. Right,
so – it wouldn't surprise me if it came down to that last weekend to see who ends up where and how that goes. So fun division. It's going to be a really fun division to watch for sure.
Yes, sir. Pete, you had a game. A little bit.
Yeah, a little kind of game, a little thought game. It's more of just like, hey, who do you think? So I heard the word the other day, and I don't know what it wasn't in this context, but I heard the word underrated the other day, and that's what sparked the idea for me. Like, give me two of what you think are underrated quarterbacks historically. Like, they don't have to be guys that are playing now. Like, historically, two quarterbacks that you think that people don't realize maybe how good they were.
First guy from me, Norman Julius Boomer Esiason.
Oh, that's a good one.
14-year pro, 1988 MVP, lefty, played in Super Bowl 23, lost a heartbreaker to the Niners.
Yep.
4 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro, maybe one of the greatest play fakes the game has ever seen. Solid arm. A lot of people remember him now being a radio guy and a pregame show guy, but man, he was fantastic.
Excellent quarterback. Yeah. My first one, interestingly enough, also a former Jet. I think being a Jet makes you automatically underrated because your team stinks. So how could you be good? Is Chad Pennington?
Real good one. I thought that.
Number one, he was 6'3", 225, which I didn't realize. The reason I probably didn't realize that is because he couldn't throw the ball through a pane of glass. And that was one of the big knocks on him. And even though he couldn't barely throw the ball 50 yards, he twice, 2 times, think about this, 2 times he led the NFL in completion percentage. Went to Marshall University, and this kid who couldn't throw the ball through glass somehow got picked 18th overall by the Jets. He won division titles not only with the Jets, but also with the Miami Dolphins. And I said he was a completion leader twice. So I just think, and his career got cut short by injuries, and it was a lot of like shoulder stuff, which is funny to me because he like barely used his shoulder. He just wasn't much of a gunslinger, but he retired at the time of his retirement. He retired with the highest completion percentage historically. So it's not anymore. He's been surpassed since. But it's one of those things where I loved watching Chad Pennington as a former Jets fan. I really loved him, and what was interesting? We talk all the time on this podcast about smarts and anticipation and accuracy being so much more important than someone like Anthony Richardson having a fucking howitzer that can throw it through a brick wall. Chad Pennington epitomized that. You talk about a timing. He just didn't have a big arm, so he always threw it on time and always put it in a spot, where his guy can get it and a defender couldn't. So I just think he was underrated, and a lot of times underrated happens also because your career gets cut a little shorter than it should have been. And his and the other guy that I'll mention definitely got cut shorter because of injury. Same injury, the same shoulder multiple times. And that just sucks. I always feel like that's the kind of thing that sucks for us, the fan, because we didn't get enough of that guy, whoever that guy is.
Right. Hold on one second. I just want our ears down. I thought about Pennington too, bro. That's funny you said that.
Yeah. Because he's also, what makes him underrated too is he was obviously never the most talented. Not a big arm, right. Not particularly mobile, not a runner or anything like that. He was a big dude. I was shocked when I saw 6'3", 225. I didn't realize he was that big. Like, that's a pretty big guy.
Big farm boy, bro. West Virginia.
Yeah. And now he's a head high school football coach in Kentucky.
That doesn't shock me one bit.
Nope, not at all.
Second guy for me, I'm going to get some shit on this one. Maybe not from you, but I think some people.
Same one to me. I'm going to be pissed.
Tony Romo.
I think that's totally fair. I think he gets a lot of shit because he's an announcer, and I think he gets a lot of shit because he didn't win playoff games. But
he did more than Dak in the playoffs.
For sure.
He holds several Cowboy records, and that's Troy Aikman, Roger Staubach, Craig Morton. Dak, Dak might break him eventually, but dude, Tony Romo, 13-year pro, 9.5 years basically playing, starting, doing his thing. 34,000 yards, 248 touchdowns, only 117 picks.
That's excellent.
That's fucking excellent, dude.
Yeah.
4-time Pro Bowler. Just the guy, watching him play quarterback, just always knew what he wanted to do with the ball. Had some good guys around him, Marion Barber, Des Bryant, stuff like that. But listen, Jason Witten, of course. But, dude, I think I'm friends with a lot of Cowboy fans. I'm sure you are too. They fucking miss Tony Romo.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Eastern Illinois product.
Plus, he was fun to watch. He's a little bit of a gunslinger, which totally fits in with the cowboy image, like boom, boom. So, no, I like that one a lot.
Thanks, Mark.
My second one that I had here was Neil Lomax.
Oh, nice.
Now, one of the things that I didn't even know until I was researching him today, he was a 33rd pick overall by the Cardinals, St. Louis, and Phoenix, and from Portland State. Now, why do I even mention that? For two reasons, for a couple reasons here. Number one, his head coach, you might not know the name, but I think Scotty will know the name, was Mouse Davis. And Mouse Davis is the creator of the run and shoot offense. And run and shoot offense was basically they don't run the ball. They ran the ball less than 10 times a game. They threw the ball exclusively. What do I mean by exclusively? But at the end of his college career, he held 90 college football, not Division I, college football passing records. In fact, one of his records, he was playing a game against Delaware. He threw 7 touchdowns in the first quarter. And I'm pretty sure he still owns the record for that. And then he played in the pros with the Cardinals. He had a touchdown interception rate of 136-90, which is pretty good. 2-time Pro Bowler, led the NFL in passing in 1987. But he retired early. He had only one playoff game and lost. But in that game, 32 of 51 for 385 and 2 touchdowns. Neil Lomax, and he played on bad teams. Like, those are bad teams. I don't know if you were too young, but probably. But Neil Lomax played on bad Cardinals teams. But I remember just watching this guy chuck the ball all over the place. I'm like, this guy can play. Like, I'm 52 years old, and I remember Neil Lomax, who most people won't ever talk about historically as a quarterback, because he just looked like a guy who could really chuck it. And he had some hip issues. And because of those hip issues, early retirement. I think, what did I say? I think he played nine seasons in the NFL.
Any relation to Bernie Lomax?
I don't have an answer to that.
You know what Bernie Lomax is?
No.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. His career I always liked watching Neil Lomax play. He was a nice player.
Can I have some music, sir?
Certainly can. Let me get to that here. See if my computer will.
No elevator music today. So
I totally forgot because, of course, my computer sucks. I could have sang my way through this whole thing. That would have been fun. I think everybody would have really enjoyed that.
I don't think so.
You're probably right.
Ready to go?
Yeah, why not?
Sure, who was the?
There it goes.
Peter, who was the all-time leading rusher in TDs at Ole Miss?
Ugh. Jesus.
Deuce McAllister.
Good one.
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis.
Too many names.
Quinshawn Junkins. Archie Manning.
Archie Manning? He was a quarterback. Rushing touchdowns or just total touchdowns? Rushing touchdowns. Oh, why are you throwing that in there? Deuce McAllister, Archie Manning,
Quinshawn Judkins, and Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, a.k.a. The Law Firm.
Yeah, no, I got to leave him out of there just because I don't even think I could say that name. Which leaves me with Deuce McAllister.
You are correct.
Hey! Let's go!
Archie was 5th on the list.
That's pretty impressive.
Sure. Peter.
Yes, sir.
Who was the all-time leader in passing touchdowns at Ole Miss?
Ole Miss? Eli?
Bo Wallace. Matt Corral. Eli Manning. Jackson Dart.
So I don't think it's Jackson Dart. Corral put up monster numbers, man. Oh, Jesus. I mean, Eli was like a 3-year starter, though, wasn't he? Or maybe even 4-year starter. I don't know. So Eli Manning, Corral, Jackson Dart, and who?
Bo Wallace.
Shit. I'm going to go with God, I really want to say Eli Manning. It seems too obvious. I'm going to go Corral.
Eli Manning.
Damn it. I hate myself. Why do I keep doing that? Peter.
All right, last one.
God damn it.
Let's see if you can salvage himself here.
1-1. 1-1.
Who was the all-time leader in receiving yards
Yards.
at the University of Mississippi? Elijah Moore, A.J. Brown, D.K. Metcalf, Willie Green.
I don't think it was DK Metcalf, right? You said?
Not Eric. DK.
I don't think he put up big numbers. He just was a specimen. I think he got drafted more off of being a specimen. AJ Brown? Is that who you said was one of them?
A.J. Brown, yeah.
The Eagle?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know he played for Mississippi.
Oh, boy. Elijah Moore and the Willie Green.
Elijah Moore, that's the guy who ended up on the Jets that I was very excited about that didn't do dick.
Yeah.
And who's the other one?
It's the fucking uniform, dude. Elijah Moore. Willie Green.
I'm leaning towards AJ or Willie Green. Wait, who am I leaving out? Elijah Moore, and who's the other guy?
Metcalf.
No. It's AJ Brown or Willie Green. And I don't know Willie Green at all. Should I know him?
Chief for a long time.
AJ Brown. Final answer.
You're correct. AJ.
Hey, 2-1 today, folks. That's what I'm talking about.
You should have been 3 for 3.
I know. I know.
So as you once
what happens is
go ahead.
No. What happens is I know you play games. It's not just straight trivia.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You certainly do.
How?
You're like a tease. You're like a girl who plays games on first date or something like that. Like, oh, should I call him back? No, I'm gonna make him wait 2 days or some shit. No, you throw in names to try to throw me off. You throw in other names because you think I won't take it. I won't choose it. Like, you play games.
What? It's a fucking trivia game.
Exactly.
You're the little girl, you fucking.
So I thought you were playing a game with the Eli Manning thing. It just seemed too damn obvious. Was Matt Corral second?
No, Jackson Dart was second.
Dart was second?
But Wallace was third. Corral was fourth.
I really fucked that one up. That's okay.
Yeah.
That happens. I got 2 out of 3.
You did well, sir. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. What are you watching this weekend?
What am I watching this weekend? We have Yankees, Astros, and this Yankee team is a fucking disaster.
It's been bad.
If this continues, the Mets are awful too. If this continues next week, we'll do a little baseball.
Okay.
If you want to see me turn different shit.
We need a vent. Yeah, we need a Scotty Yankee vent.
We might need a session getting back on track.
To your credit, that has often worked. many times when you've come on here and ripped them to shreds, they turn things around. So maybe that's exactly what we need to do.
I have a lot to say about Cashman and Boone, so I'll wait for next week to do that.
Okay.
Even if they go on a little bit of a winning streak, I'll still talk a little bit if you want.
I think that's fair. I think it's about time.
I think it's deserved too, honestly, at this point.
For sure.
Going to the game Friday night, Saturday, nice. Sunday, a little busy for me, but I'm going to try to watch as much golf as I can.
I was going to say the golf starts. We do have more NFL football games this week, preseason games. So I will check some of those out, at least the first quarter or first half of some of those games. This is when you'll see at least some regulars.
Let's avoid major injuries, please, everywhere.
I hope so.
Let's get healthy. Just stay healthy, please.
I like that. But I'll definitely be keeping an eye on the golf. It was fascinating to watch some of these guys this past weekend and just watch the camera. The camera was on the guys that were around the 70 mark. It was so cool. A lot of fun. So now they're in. Now, if you're in somewhere between 50 and 70, you got to work your ass up to the top 50. So that'll be fun too. But now it's more about getting these wins and getting yourself ready
By the way,
for that last round.
Hats off to Cam Young. Played his ass off.
Oh my God! Yeah,
finally got a win
right?
there. Yeah,
Yep.
first win's been top
Ran
5,
away with it.
Top 10 like 6 times.
Yep.
4-year pro, I think, something like that. Really, really good player.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
so long to Ian Baker Finch. Been a long time broadcaster for CBS. They had me almost fucking welding up in there.
I know.
Oh my God.
And a little surprising, right? He's not some old, crazy old guy or anything like that.
I hope there's no health stuff going on. And I think he's
fair.
got some younger grandkids and maybe, listen, let's be honest.
Been on the road for 40 years.
It's a lot of goddamn traffic.
Well, because he was a player before being an announcer.
Yes,
so, he's been doing this for a long time.
Very, very good at what he did. I'm curious to see where they go with it. They've been working, what's his face? Kevin Kisner in the broadcast a lot.
And he's good.
He's very good. And I wonder,
doesn't have as much personality, but he's sharp with his
But he's getting there. He's getting a little bit. He's got that Georgia Southern twang, and he's a little sarcastic. I wonder if they did that on purpose, trying to know that was coming.
Sure.
I don't know if he doesn't want to play anymore, or the senior tours. Maybe he just the month they gave him a good month number, and he had a good career. I don't know. Listen, everyone does stuff for different reasons, but
absolutely,
it wouldn't suck if that was the guy. Maybe they're not going to go back to Phil. Phil kind of fucking cut his nose off to spite his face, going to live. Sure. So that's over and done with. So we'll see. They'll have no problem filling it all. I could do without the Smiley guy and Colton Ost, but
yep,
I got the younger crowd, Twitter crowd, and stuff like that.
Yeah. For Scott Bracey, I'm Pete Colasano. You've been listening to Bump and Run, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Later.
All right. I should have no problem getting this out tonight. Worst case scenario, first thing in the morning.
Yeah, no problem. It's only Wednesday, so you got some time.
Yeah.
Next week for me, please be patient with me. Jeremy Desane is going to get me on Arcola golf course, the private golf course.
Ooh.
And yeah.
You just don't know what day, or you?
It's going to be either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I'm not sure what day. I'm hoping it's Friday. Friday would be fucking perfect, but
yeah.
It never works out the way you want it to go.
We'll figure it out, my man.
Thank you, sir, and then thank you today for Justin as well.
Absolutely. I will talk to you later.
Sounds good, pal.
All right, bye.
Later.